Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Didati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dhaina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, translation and commentary, His Divine Grace Sri Lesi Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki. So, text number 14, chapter 10, Maharaj Rahugana meets Jad Bharat. Text number, Canto 5, text number 14. So, it's a prose verse, so I'll read it once and then we'll repeat the word for word. Sri Shuka Vacha. Well, I'll just say the whole thing, then we'll do step by step, okay? Etavad Anuvada Paribhasaya Prayodira Munivara Upasamashila Uparatna Nayama Nimitta Upabhogena Karmarabhyam Vyapanayan Raja Yagya Api Tatovata. So please repeat. Sri Sukha Avacha. Sukadev Goswami continued to speak. Etavat, so much. Anuvada Paribhasaya, by explanatory repetition of words spoken previously by the king. Pratyodhiraya, giving replies one after another. Munivara, the great sage Jad Bharat. Upashama Shilaha, who was calm and peaceful in character. Uparata, ceased. Anamya, things not related to the soul. Nimittaha, whose cause, ignorance, for identification with things not related to the soul. Upabhogena, by accepting the consequences of his karma. Karma arabhyam, the resultant action now attained. Vyapanaya, finishing. Raja Yanam, the palanquin of the king. Api, again. Tata, as before. Uvaya, continue to carry. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. Sukadeva Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, when King Rahugana chastised the exalted devotee Jad Bharat with harsh words, that peaceful, saintly person tolerated it all and replied properly. Nescience is due to the bodily conception, and Jad Bharat was not affected by this false conception. Out of his natural humility, he never considered himself a great devotee, and he agreed to suffer the results of his past karma. Like an ordinary man, he thought that by carrying the palanquin, he was destroying the reaction of his past misdeeds. Thinking in this way, he began to carry the palanquin as before. Please repeat. Sukadeva Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, when King Rahugana chastised the exalted devotee Jad Bharat with harsh words, that peaceful, saintly person tolerated it all and replied properly. Nescience is due to the bodily conception, and Jad Bharat was not affected by this false conception. Out of his natural humility, he never considered himself a great devotee, and he agreed to suffer the results of his past karma. Like an ordinary man, he thought that by carrying the palanquin, he was destroying the reactions to his past misdeeds. Thinking in this way, he began to carry the palanquin as before. Purport, Srila Prabhupada. An exalted devotee of the Lord never thinks that he is a Paramahamsa or a liberated person. He always remains a humble servant of the Lord. In all reverse conditions, he agrees to suffer the results of his past life. He never accuses the Lord of putting him into a distressed condition. These are signs of an exalted devotee. Tattena nukampam susha miksha shamana. When suffering reversed conditions, the devotee always considers that the reverse conditions are the Lord's concessions. He is never angry with his master. He is always satisfied with the position his master offers. In any case, he continues performing his duty in devotional service. Such a person is guaranteed promotion back home, back to Godhead, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8. Tattena nukampam susammikshamana bunjana evatma kritam vipakam ridvak vapubhya vidadan namaste jivate yo muktipade sadhaya bhak. Translation: My dear Lord, one who constantly waits for your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him, and who goes on suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Mukam karochi vachalam pangam laite girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Gurun dinatarinam. Shri Sukavacha Etavad Anuvad Paribhasaya Prayodira Munivara Upasana Shila Upara Tanyatma Nimitta Upabhogena Karma Rabhyam Vyapanayam Raja Yagnya Api Tato Baha. Sukadev Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, when King Rahugana chastised the exalted devotee Jadbharat with harsh words, that peaceful, saintly person tolerated it all and replied properly. Nescience is due to the bodily conception, and Jadbharat was not affected by this false conception. Out of his natural humility, he never considered himself a great devotee, and he agreed to suffer the result of his past karma. Like an ordinary man, he thought that by carrying the palanquin, he was destroying the reactions of his past misdeeds. Thinking in this way, he began to carry the palanquin as before. So, we see the contrast. Actually, Jadbharat should be the upset person. He's being chastised. And Maharaj Rahugana, he's sitting on the palanquin, a little uncomfortably, but he should be feeling very happy. But we see the opposite is true. One is under the control of ahankara, and the other is liberated in transcendental realization of his eternal relationship with Sri Krishna, above and beyond the material mind and senses and all the designations that go with the material mind and senses. But Maharaj Rahugana, his false ego has been pricked. That is the nature of the materially conditioned. Their identity, their false ego, is their greatest treasure. Me, I am this identity. However, it is illusory. Aham mameti. Shastra Acharya explained it divided into two. Aham, I, false conception of the self. I am this body, or I am this mind. Aham mameti. Those things related to this body are my rightful possession. And if you challenge my conception of self, if you take my possessions, my status, my wealth, then adira, very disturbed. Dira adira. So Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita that the self-realized soul is dira, even dhirastatra namuya, even at the time of death. Here Maharaj Rahugana, he's very disturbed about a little shaking in the palanquin. Mrityu sarva haras chaham kalusmyaham. Time is driving everyone towards inevitable death. And death, actually it's a very interesting definition given of death in the Bhagavatam. Of course, according to the modern medical science, they will say the body is not functioning, the heart is stopped, the brain is dead. They look at everything on the bodily platform, atoms and molecules. But the Bhagavatam says that death is when the soul ceases to identify with the material body. And conversely, in contrast, birth is when the soul begins to identify with the new body. Vamsi Jirnani Yata. As one body is thrown off, another is taken. Just like we throw off some old cloth and we put on some new cloth. So, death is inevitable. And at death, our false ego is not just pricked by some shaking of the palanquin, but we lose everything. We are forced to give up identification with the body. And that means that we lose that which we have treasured and cultured, nurtured and admired and presented to the world for so many years. That which we have adored. Everything is gone, and all paraphernalia. If after this class you find that somebody has stolen your shoes, you'll be very disturbed. My God, they were comfortable. I paid 150 rupees. Who has taken them? Let me catch that person. We become Maharaj Rahugana. Agitated. But when death comes, you don't just lose your shoes, you lose your legs also. You lose your shirt and pants. You lose your bank balance. You lose everything. So if losing your shoes is so much of a disturbance, imagine for the ignoramus, the ignorant person, who identifies with the body and all the paraphernalia and considers this is mine, this body, my house, my wife, my children, my country, my bank balance, this is mine. At the time of death, he finds out it's not his. And he has spent his whole idea cultivating the conception that it is his. But death comes along, Mrityu sarva haraschaham. I am all-devouring death. For the materialist, I take everything away. So, this should make us sober. We should consider. Yudhisthira Maharaj in the Mahabharata was asked, what is the most amazing thing? He answered, the most amazing thing is that we're in Marchaloka here in Bhumandala, where death is very prominent. People are only living maximum 100 years. Animals, they live maybe one night time, insects. A dog, he lives 7, 8, 10 years maximum. Death is so prominent, but everybody is living as if they will not die. And they're putting in all their effort into things that they will lose, with no conception of anything beyond that. And this false conception, this illusory, this nescience, as Prabhupada says, there's science and there's nescience. That means illusory understanding. This is what they're cultivating. So, this is unfortunate condition, because the human form of life is especially meant for cultivating the opposite. Now you're all devotees, you understand this. Shri Shri Gaurnitai Krishna Balaram Radhasham Sundar Lalit Vishaka Shalagra Maharaj Giri Govardhan Gomata Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. So you're all devotees, you understand this. But this knowledge should be the possession of everybody in the human society. Human society should be regulated, ordered, so that everyone is presented with this knowledge. This is the most important thing. Yes, you may get a television set, you may even manage to pay off the mortgage. You may have wife and children, but it is all temporary, asat. So Lord Chaitanya has explained, asat jagi a Vaishnavachar. The Vaishnav, he gives up the asat and he finds the sat. So at least people should be given the choice. They should be given this knowledge. But we find what happens. You go to school, maybe 5 years old, then you go to secondary school, then maybe you go to college, and you come out at the age of 21, 22, and then you may even do a PhD or a master's, whatever. And then you talk to that person and you say, so now you're a PhD, what are you? Well, I'm from Orissa, I'm from Greenland, I'm a pygmy in Africa. They will answer in terms of their body and mind. I'm a very intelligent pygmy, I have a PhD. Prabhupada explains that this PhD means plough department. That's in one purport in the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is meaning that you have a PhD, but you think you're the body. Modern education, right? People think, oh, we go to school and then we study religion on the side. Don't put religion in there. The atheist class have captured the educational system. And they spread their mythology. There was nothing and it exploded. It was a very big bang even though it was nothing. Right? And then all the atoms and molecules got together and created consciousness, somehow or other. And then those conscious beings, some decided to fly in the sky, some jumped back in the ocean, some got PhDs and told everyone, I deserve the Nobel Prize. And then next year, somebody else contradicted their argument and said, I deserve the Nobel Prize. So this is often the case in science. They change it. It's like a new fashion, isn't it? String theory, general relativity, reductionism, whatever. It is just like socialism, national socialism, capitalism, globalism. What's the flavor of the month? So this is asat. This is the flux of the material energy. People are changing their opinions, their ideas, just like your dream at night. It's a different dream, a flux, an idea. You wake up and you see it's all a dream. So this is nescience. And in the Ishopanishad, it explained there that you have to understand this nescience and you have to understand the path of transcendence so that you can overcome the material energy. Nirvambo Nitya Sattvasto Shema Atmavan. Be situated in the self. And here we see a great soul, Maharaj Rahugana, in contrast to Jadbharat. Jadbharat is the great soul. He's situated in the self. Whereas Maharaj Rahugana is situated in the false ego. even though this was Vedic society, this is the Purana, it's not exactly specified which yuga, when, but this was some great Vedic society. But Maharaj Rahugana was still considering, I am this body. He was still disturbed. I'm the king. How can you shake my palanquin? Sounds like a song. I'm going to do you in. This is his attitude. But Jad Bharat was said, no, don't do that. Don't commit sin. Why? He is detached. So natural humility, Prabhupada explains, because he is situated in transcendence. Naturally, there is different kinds of titiksha, tolerance. Maharaj is intolerant. Some people are tolerant by force of will. Just like when Bhrigu Muni went to Lord Brahma, he did not respect him very nicely. But by force of will, Lord Brahma controlled his anger. But this natural humility is a different quality. He is not controlling some disturbance in his mind because of disrespect, but because he's completely detached. There's a saying Prabhupada used to quote, the dogs bark, but the caravan passes. Right? The caravan is carrying all the goods. They come into a village, and the dogs go, whoop, 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 whoop. What are you doing in my territory? The caravan passes. The camels don't start barking back. They just think, this is insignificant. This is storm in a teacup. This is a feast of sages in the forest. A few roots and berries, and no great effect. So the sadhu, the self-realized soul, I think in the previous verse, Jad Bharat explains the thing, I'm self-realized soul, I don't care for all these bad words. You are babbling like a madman. Just like if you're in the street and some madman starts shouting at you, you just think, never mind, okay. So this natural humility, this natural tolerance is the sadhubhushana. We were quoting that verse last week, right? Kurunika titikshava Suridam Sarvadehi Namajata Shatru Sadhava Sadhubhushanam Shanta Sadhava Sadhubhushanam. These are the qualities of the sadhu naturally. And he is situated in transcendence. He's above the material agitation. So it's natural. So, however, and as Prabhupada brings out, and it's in the text here, Jad Bharat decided, I shall continue with lifting this palanquin. I accept this chastisement. The verse is quoted there from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14. That is the prayers of Lord Brahma after the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Lord Brahma says, Tattena nukampatam, that the devotee, he sees the problems that may come according to the mind and body or other living entities, adidevik, adibhotik, adhyatmik. He sees these as the result, as the blessing of Krishna to purify him. And in this verse, explaining there, Lord Brahma quoted also Rupa Goswami, and Prabhupada used to quote this all the time, that the devotee thinks, these problems that are besetting me, they are the result of my past karma. I'm accepting them now. Prarabdha and aparabdha karma. So it is manifest now. And that is Krishna's mercy to purify me. Because when the karmic reactions become nil, it's very easy to realize Krishna in tattva perfectly. So the devotee thinks, this is my master, he is purifying me, and he accepts this. So he sees Krishna in everything. This is the Krishna consciousness, the Uttamadhikari. He doesn't see things separate. He sees everything in Krishna and Krishna in everything. And with this natural humility, he accepts the troubles that beset us. We all have mind and body. It is the result of our past activity. So, when we become devotees, yes, muksha yishyami ma suchaha. Krishna says, you will become liberated from sinful activity. But Prabhupada gives the example that just as when you pull the fan out of the wall, the electric connection, the fan is still spinning. So similarly, we have got these particular bodies, whatever, according to past karma. You can tell the past of somebody by looking at their present situation. But the real point is, you can tell the future of somebody by examining their present mentality, their present activities. This question is also in the Mahabharata. Bhishma is asked, which is more powerful? The effect of the past activities that have brought me to this condition. Say maybe I have bronchitis or I've broken my leg. This is the past. It is acting upon me now, the result. Karma phal. Which is more powerful, that in the past or my actions now? So the answer is given. The actions now are more powerful. Because though you may have broken your leg, now if you get a good doctor, he can fix it up and you can overcome the problem. You may have bronchitis. Find some good doctor, take the medicine, change your diet, get fresh air. You can overcome. So this indicates that the Vedic knowledge encourages us to be proactive. We should not think, oh, I'll become a devotee when Krishna wants me. Like I remember many years back, we used to make life members. And sometimes we'd go to people's homes, try to make them life members, and it was a favorite answer. Sometimes the people would say, I'll become life member when Krishna wants me to. No, the answer is very simple. Krishna wants you to become life member, but he's left the decision to you. Don't be passive, carried by your karma, but rather be proactive and overcome your bad tendencies and enter into spiritual life. This is the this is the conclusion of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Don't settle for the bad condition, struggle against it. This is the intelligent person. He doesn't accept things as they are. Rather, he acts to improve them. Otherwise, he's not performing his duty. Klesa adhikarascha. Krishna tells Arjuna, you have a right to perform your duty, pious activity, varnashram, your duty, but you don't have the right to enjoy the fruit. You should dedicate that to the Supreme Lord. So yes, there will be problems in life. We will be beset. Don't be utopian about life. Everything should be like this, but it's like this. Oh, it's depressing. What can I do? No. Krishna tells Arjuna, stand and fight. Yes, I'm materially conditioned. I'm ignorant of myself. I'm like Maharaj Rahugana. I know spiritual knowledge, but I'm still in the modes of material nature. Don't accept things as they are. Rather, exert yourself, be active, take the advice of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and overcome the sea of troubles. That's the Aryan. Arjuna wanted, oh, I can't do it. I don't want this battle. It's terrible. I have to kill people. Arjuna, you are talking like a learned man, but you're just a fool. You have a problem. Now act according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And then you will achieve mercy of Krishna. So this is the message of Shastra. This is Mayavadi idea. Oh, it's all illusion. We can't do anything. We have to die and then we'll merge into the Absolute. All this kind of nonsense. No, Krishna tells Arjuna, stand and fight. You're a Kshatriya. Use your ability. Wake up. Jeev jago, jeev chago, gora chandra bole. How long will you remain sleeping in the lap of Maya? Bhakti Vinod says. You have to wake up. So the Shastra is telling us like this. Wake up. Don't be like Maharaj Rahugana, be like Jadbharat. If you have problems, deal with them as best you can. But see it as the mercy of Krishna. Now it's very interesting this actually, because we know in the second life before this, Jadbharat was a king, was he not? He fell down into the deer body, but he remembered by grace of Krishna that in previous life I was Maharaj Bharat, but I became attached sentimentally to a deer. So it's very interesting to consider this. In this sloka, the verse is there that we should see things as a result of our past. So in the past, Maharaj Bharat, Jadbharat, could have been on the palanquin. But now he's carrying the palanquin. This isn't explicitly stated by the acharyas, but it's interesting to consider this. So maybe in the past life, Maharaj Rahugana was the palanquin carrier. And he shook the palanquin of Maharaj Bharat. Right? Maharaj Bharat was appointed the king by Rishabdev, 100 sons. Maharaj Bharat is the advanced one. He should be the king. So, now the table has turned. It's not explicitly stated by the acharyas, but we can see how the Bhagavatam, the great sage Vyasadeva, has woven so many things into the Bharat. But the point is here that Bharat Maharaj, Jadbharat, he was not disturbed. The self-realized soul sees everything as the mercy of Krishna. Therefore, he's not disturbed. So we have to attain that. Do not think that that is just for Jad Bharat, that is just for Dhruva Maharaj, that is just for Prahlad Maharaj. No, that is for us. In the Harinam Chintamani, Bhakti Vinod, in the final chapter, he explains the offenses to the holy name and how to overcome them. And in the final chapter, he says that you can be a Vaishnav for many, many lifetimes, staying on the Kanishta platform. You learn a few slokas, you go to the temple, you pray to Krishna, please help me, I'm poor, help my family, my son. Chanting a few names, Janmashtami. But Bhakti Vinod says, however, if somebody becomes determined and decides, I will chant nicely, I'll increase my chanting to at least 1 lakh, I'll study the Shastra very closely every day, I'll avoid a satsangi, I'll avoid non-devotional association, I'll turn off the television and I'll read the Bhagavatam and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, and I'll discuss with devotees, and I'll be pure in body and mind, I'll strive at least, I'll keep it as a dream. Bhakti Vinod says, if you apply yourself, then in 1 life you can attain Krishna Prem and become the associate of Krishna. It is not theoretical. Yayatam mam prapajante. All of them, as they surrender, I reward accordingly. Krishna is very scrupulous. According to your application to sadhana, Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga, then you will develop bhava and prem. So everyone should understand that. We have mind, body, prana, energy, we have the Shastra, we have Vrindavan Dham, we have Sadhu Sangha. Are we going to take advantage? We shouldn't be carried in the palanquin of the mind, mano rathena. We should think, what do I need a palanquin for? I'll walk myself. So we have to conjure up that determination. Sadhu Sangha, Sava Shastra hoy, Lavamata Sadhu Sangha, Sava Siddhi hoy. This is the other point. In the next verse, Maharaj Rahugana, after hearing from Jad Bharat, he says, oh my God, I'm not scared of Indra's thunderbolt. I'm not scared of all the weapons of the Devas and the demigods and the Daityas. I'm not scared of them, but I'm scared of offending the Vaishnav. So he is qualified in the sense, he has respect. He's not a demoniac person. He's just a Balisha. He needs instruction. So we should be like Maharaj Rahugana. We should not be agitated. We should give respect to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. We should take their messages and capture them in our heart and build our life around that. And we should be confident, enthusiasm, patient, confident. We should be confident that yes, Krishna will reciprocate. Krishna says, Yetam mam prapadyante. If you fast nicely every Ekadashi and you chant 1 lakh nam, you will find in your heart the reciprocation of Krishna. You will feel some bhava. But Jeev Jago, we have to give up the dream of material illusion.